Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Shop of the Bit. I know it's been a few days since I last uploaded an episode, but wanted to come in front of you and talk about the Indianapolis Colts. If you caught their game over the weekend, they played my New England Patriots. Did not go well for them. They lost 26-3 with an offense that wasn't able to really do much of anything. I think they had like less than 100 yards of total offense. Defensively, they weren't exactly terrible, to be honest with you, because New England's offense didn't set the world on fire either. But, New England looked like a better team, I will say. Defensively, New England is, better than the Colts are right now. And I would say offensively, they're better, even with the struggles New England's having offensively. So, after the game, well, I guess earlier on Monday, we got the news that Jim Irsay has fired Frank Reich, the head coach, and has named Jeff Saturday, ESPN analyst, as their interim coach, which is pretty interesting. Um, me being a Patriots fan, the history that New England has with the Colts, not gonna lie, I do feel a little bit, you know, I don't know, I guess I'm a little pleased that the loss to New England is what set Irsay over the edge and made him fire Frank Reich, who seemed like just a couple of years ago was one of the hot commodities in the coaching market. But it's kind of gone downhill. Not really his fault because I think Frank Reich was planning on coaching Andrew Luck for a while, and we know that he abruptly retired a few years ago now. And I think that kind of set Frank Reich back because since then they tried Carson Wentz, they tried Phillip Rivers, tried Matt Ryan. None of those guys worked, and now it's to the point where, this past Sunday he had Sam Ellinger as his quarterback, and I mean to be honest with you, I don't know if I would blame Frank Reich for all of this, but I guess I can understand where Jim Irsay is coming from. Irsay is desperately trying to get another Super Bowl, which as an owner he should be, kind of a win now mode. But looking at this current Colts team, I could think of plenty of issues outside of Frank Reich that they need to fix before I would say a coaching change is necessary. One, the quarterback position's a mess. It's been a mess. And if you can't get that right, does it really matter who your coach is if you want to win a Super Bowl title? That's one. Two, maybe Jonathan Taylor's health seems to be kind of an issue the past couple of seasons. And maybe it's to the point where you have to get a second running back in there who could lessen his workload, possibly. At least like in the middle of the season when it seems like he gets a little nagging injuries, especially like what he's dealing with so far this season, the past couple of weeks. They had Naeem Hines, but they traded him during the trade deadline. Um, I would say their skill positions in terms of the wide receivers and tight ends, I think they're okay, but they probably could use another wide receiver. They have Pittman, who's the number one guy, the obvious number one. Alec Pierce has come on lately to look like a number two, but I think they could use an upgrade at the wide receiver position for sure. Defensively, like I said, they're not upper tier, but I think they're decent defensively. So I think the unfortunate thing is that for the past couple of seasons, they've always seemed like a team that's a piece or two away. And I guess Jim Irsay just kind of got sick of that, of being stuck in that group, and feels like a new voice in the room can maybe push it over the top. Now, with them bringing on Jeff Saturday as an interim head coach, what exactly is going to be Jeff Saturday's job in all of this? Is he going to get a legitimate look at becoming the new head coach? Is this a publicity type of thing from Irsay? Um, I'm not saying that Jeff Saturday is not qualified to be a head coach. I think I kind of am by questioning it, but I'm also of the mind that if if somebody new gets an opportunity, I am willing to give it a shot. I'm not one of these who likes to see guys getting recycled from team to team to team. Get some fresh new faces in there. Who knows? Maybe Jeff Saturday turns out to be a really good head coach, and Ursay stumbles upon his next guy for the next few years. But is this? But like I said, is this something where he's just trying to bring back some of the good old days to give the fans a reason to stomach through the rest of this season? They're 3-5-1 right now. They clearly don't look like they're going to win the division, and probably aren't a playoff team. So maybe Ursay just decided, hey, just Saturday will give people a reason to show up and watch the games just to see what Saturday can do. And if that's all this is, and then at the end of the season he'll look at legitimate candidates, fine. I mean, I guess that's a way to go. Maybe some Colts fans might ask, why not just let Frank Reich ride out the rest of the season and then fire him at the end of it? That's a legitimate question as well. But I'm interested to see, what does Saturday change anything? I mean, so far it seems like the rest of the coaching staff is sticking around, but maybe those are moves that might come later in the week. I don't know. Otherwise, is there really much of a change if all you do is replace Frank Reich with Jeff Saturday, but the coordinators and all that all stay the same? That doesn't really seem to make much sense. And like I said, if Jeff Saturday is not the guy, or he's not going to get like a legitimate shot at the job at the end of the season, does open up a job that could be somewhat intriguing. I'm assuming they're going to probably draft a quarterback this time instead of trying to get one of these retreads and hope that they uh, figure it out within a year in Indy. Get a new coach and give him a young quarterback to kind of build with. I wonder who they're going to go after, because there's going to be some intriguing names out there. There's a lot of minority coaches, and I definitely push for those guys first. Um, whether it's Byron Leftwich in Tampa Bay, Bieniemy with the with Kansas City. I mean, at some point he has to get a job, doesn't he? You know, and the trend that's been going on with the NFL is, if you're associated with certain great quarterbacks, that should get you a job. We've seen it with Sean McVay, uh, who was it? Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, guys like that who got head coaching jobs because of being associated with either other coaches that are highly regarded, or Aaron Rodgers and quarterbacks like that. So Leftwich has been the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady for the past couple of seasons. That's got to carry some weight. Bieniemy's been, you know, um, Patrick Mahomes' offensive coordinator for the past few seasons. That's got to carry some weight. Maybe Leftwich might be slightly ahead, as crazy as that might sound to some, but Leftwich is under a defensive-minded coach in Todd Bowles right now. Although he did have Bruce Arians the year before, who's an offensive mind, but uh, at least being under Todd Bowles, maybe that bolsters him a little bit more, because I do think one thing that might be holding Bieniemy back is the fact that he coaches under Andy Reid, and Andy Reid is regarded as a great offensive mind. So I don't know if Bieniemy gets all the credit he probably should. But those are just two guys on top of my head who I assume should be in the running for the Indianapolis job. Um, who else is out there? Those are the two I thought of off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure there's some other candidates, but I mean, I don't think the indie job is that bad. I do wonder a little bit about working for Jim Irsay. I think Irsay has has definitely has his blotches on his resume. I do think that Jim Irsay is probably Jerry Jones light. I think in Jim Irsay's mind, he'd love to be on Jerry Jones type of level where he's meddling in everything and gets a lot of attention in the media, which I never like that in terms of coaches dealing with owners like that. I think the owner should be kind of hands off, let the coach do his thing. So we'll have to see where this story goes. I will be definitely intrigued during the next Colts game if I, you know, well, I mean, the Patriots are on a bye this week. I think the Colts, I don't think the Colts are on a bye. So maybe I'll tune into the Colts game and see what Saturday looks like on the sideline and how he operates. Does he kind of just, is he just kind of there while the corners and stuff are doing all the work around him? Will he be engaged with certain players? Will he be engaged with like the offensive line since that's what he is and that's probably what he knows best? We'll have to see. But yeah, the NFL season's going on, and I wonder if more moves like this will be coming down. I guess a question for you guys down in the comments would be, who do you think is going to be the next coach fired? There's some candidates out there. Nathaniel Hackett with Denver. I mean, we already heard the whole Denver Jacksonville London game was kind of his last chance if they lost. Of course, they won that game. So does that just push it to the next game, or does he get like a couple of game cushion until the next ultimatum? Kingsbury in Arizona definitely is a guy who could see losing his job. Brandon Staley with the Chargers. So there's some candidates out there. But like I said, let me know if you think another coach gets fired in season, and who do you think that will be? Or do you think the next firing wouldn't be until the off season? But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know my thoughts on the whole Colts situation. Like I said, as a Patriots fan, deep down I think I'm loving this, seeing the Colts kind of implode. But keep keeping it professional, keeping my bias out of it. Um, I understand, I guess, where Jim Irsay's coming from. Been a very disappointing season. I just don't know if replacing him mid-season with a Jeff Saturday guy who I don't think is like a legitimate candidate at the end of the season makes any sense. But like I said, we'll have to see. Maybe he's a diamond in the rough and is the next great coach. Who knows? But so yeah, just to remind you guys where you can find me. Um, check me out, Sports Empire Network. Tuesday nights 7 o'clock, Thursday nights 7 o'clock. So Tuesday nights is the Big Three podcast with Jordan and Dylan, and then Thursday nights pregame pigskin with Gene and Godfrey. Two really great shows. I feel like you'll enjoy both of them. So follow me over there. Depending on where you check it out, make sure you hit the like button or follow or subscribe. Some really great shows on the network besides the two I just told you that I'm on. Uh, so yeah, definitely check me out over there. And then Friday nights at about 8 o'clock, 8:15 ish area, I'm on the JJL Sports Talk Show on YouTube and Facebook. Audio version is available like an hour or so after it, wherever you listen to podcasts as well. So check me out over there. I do that show with Jordan from the Big Three podcast. We then do that show Friday nights, just he and I, and Khalil, who's the third guy with us. So a lot of great sports talk on there as well. So check me out over there. You can also find me, social media places, Twitter. You can find me chomping at the bit. Um, Instagram. You can follow me. It's Kyle.Edwards. It's 3393. You know, give me a follow over there. And yeah. So make sure, of course, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell here on YouTube. You guys listening, you know what to do. Follow, subscribe to the show. That way, you'll know when I drop new episodes. But really appreciate you guys. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode. And as I always say, be safe out there. God bless. And I'll catch you in the next episode. All right. Have a good one. I'm out.